Dganikya 31. Sigalave da Sutta. The Buddha's advice to Sigleka. This is what I heard. On one occasion, the Buddha was living near the town of Rajagaha at a spot in the bamboo grove called the squirrel's feeding place. At that time a young householder named Sigleka arose early and set out from Rajagaha with freshly washed clothes and hair. With palms together held up in reverence, he was paying respect towards the 6 directions, that is east, south, west, north, lower and upper. Meanwhile the Buddha dressed himself in the early morning, took his bowl and robe and went into Rajagaha on alms round. On the way, he saw Sigleka worshipping the 6 directions. Seeing this, the Buddha said to him, "Young man, why have you risen in the early morning and set out from Rajagaha to worship in such a way?" "Dear sir, my father on his deathbed urged me, 'My son, you must worship the directions.' So, dear sir, realizing, honoring, respecting, and holding sacred my father's request, I have risen in the early morning and set out from Rajagaha to worship in this way." "But, young man, that is not how the 6 directions should be worshipped according to the discipline of the noble ones." "Then how, dear sir, should the 6 directions be worshipped according to the discipline of the noble ones? I would appreciate it if you would teach me the proper way this should be done." "Very well, young man, listen and pay careful attention while I tell you." "Yes, dear sir," agreed Sigleka. The Buddha said this. "Young man, by abandoning the 4 impure actions, a noble disciple refrains from harmful deeds rooted in 4 causes and avoids the 6 ways of squandering wealth. So, these 14 harmful things are removed. The noble disciple, now with the 6 directions protected, has entered upon a path for conquering both worlds, firmly grounded in this world and the next. At the dissolution of the body after death, a good rebirth occurs in a heavenly world. What 4 impure actions are abandoned? The harming of living beings is an impure action, taking what is not given is an impure action, sexual misconduct is an impure action, and false speech is an impure action. These 4 are abandoned. That is what the Buddha said. Summing up in verse, the sublime teacher said, harming living beings, taking what is not given, false speech, and pursuing the loved one of another. These the wise surely do not praise. What are the 4 causes of harmful deeds? Going astray through desire, hatred, delusion, or fear, the noble disciple does harmful deeds. But, young man, not going astray through desire, hatred, delusion, or fear, the noble disciple does not perform harmful deeds. That is what the Buddha said. Summing up in verse, the sublime teacher said, desire, hatred, delusion, or fear. Whoever transgresses the Dhamma by these has a reputation that comes to ruin. Like the moon in the waning fortnight. Desire, hatred, delusion, or fear. Whoever transgresses not the Dhamma by these has a reputation that comes to fullness. Like the moon in the waxing fortnight. And what 6 ways of squandering wealth are to be avoided? Young man, heedlessness caused by intoxication, roaming the streets at inappropriate times, habitual partying, compulsive gambling, bad companionship, and laziness are the 6 ways of squandering wealth. These are the 6 dangers inherent in heedlessness caused by intoxication, loss of immediate wealth, increased quarreling, susceptibility to illness, disrepute, indecent exposure, and weakened insight. These are the 6 dangers inherent in roaming the streets at inappropriate times. Oneself, one's family, and one's property are all left unguarded and unprotected. One is suspected of crimes, then rumors spread, and one is subjected to many miseries. These are the 6 dangers inherent in habitual partying. You constantly seek, where's the dancing? Where's the singing? Where's the music? Where are the stories? Where's the applause? Where's the drumming? These are the 6 dangers inherent in compulsive gambling. Winning breeds resentment, the loser mourns lost property. Savings are lost, one's word carries no weight in a public forum, friends and colleagues display their contempt. And one is not sought after for marriage, since a gambler cannot adequately support a family. These are the 6 dangers inherent in bad companionship. Any rogue, drunkard, addict, cheat, swindler, or thug becomes a friend and colleague. These are the 6 dangers inherent in laziness, saying, "It's too cold," one does not work, saying, "It's too hot," one does not work, saying, "It's too late," one does not work, saying, "It's too early," one does not work, saying, "I am too hungry," one does not work, saying, "I am too full," one does not work. With an abundance of excuses for not working, new wealth does not accrue and existing wealth goes to waste. That is what the Buddha said. Summing up in verse, the sublime teacher said, "Some are drinking buddies. Some say, 'Dear friend, dear friend.' But whoever in hardship stands close by, that one truly is a friend. Sleeping late, adultery, hostility, meaninglessness, harmful friends, utter stinginess. These 6 things destroy a person. Bad friends, bad companions, bad practices, spending time in evil ways. By these, one brings oneself to ruin. In this world and the next. Seduction, gambling, drinking, singing, dancing. Sleeping by day, wandering all around untimely. Harmful friends, utter stinginess. These things destroy a person. They play with dice, they drink spirits. They consort with lovers dear to others. Associating with low life and not the esteemed. They come to ruin like the waning moon. Whoever is a drunkard, broke, and destitute. Dragged by thirst from bar to bar. Sinking into debt like a stone in water. Into bewilderment quickly plunges. When sleeping late becomes a habit. And night is seen as time to rise. For one perpetually intoxicated. A home life cannot be maintained. Too cold. Too hot. Too late, they say. Having wasted work time this way, the young miss out on opportunities. For one regarding cold and hot as not more than blades of grass. Doing whatever should be done. Happiness will not be a stranger. Young man, be aware of these 4 enemies disguised as friends, the taker, the talker, the flatterer, and the reckless companion. The taker can be identified by 4 things: by only taking, asking for a lot while giving little, performing duty out of fear, and offering service in order to gain something. The talker can be identified by 4 things: by reminding of past generosity, promising future generosity, mouthing empty words of kindness, and protesting personal misfortune when called on to help. The flatterer can be identified by 4 things: by supporting both bad and good behavior indiscriminately, praising you to your face, and putting you down behind your back. The reckless companion can be identified by 4 things: by accompanying you in drinking, roaming around at night, partying, and gambling. That is what the Buddha said. Summing up in verse, the sublime teacher said, "The friend who is all take. The friend of empty words. The friend full of flattery. And the reckless friend. These 4 are not friends, but enemies. The wise understand this. And keep them at a distance. As they would a dangerous path. Young man, be aware of these 4 good-hearted friends: the helper, the friend who endures in good times and bad, the mentor, and the compassionate friend. The helper can be identified by 4 things: by protecting you when you are vulnerable, and likewise your wealth, being a refuge when you are afraid. And in various tasks providing double what is requested. The enduring friend can be identified by 4 things: by telling you secrets, guarding your own secrets closely, not abandoning you in misfortune, and even dying for you. The mentor can be identified by 4 things: by restraining you from wrongdoing, guiding you towards good actions, telling you what you ought to know, and showing you the path to heaven. The compassionate friend can be identified by 4 things: by not rejoicing in your misfortune, delighting in your good fortune, preventing others from speaking ill of you, and encouraging others who praise your good qualities. That is what the Buddha said. Summing up in verse, the sublime teacher said. The friend who is a helper. The friend through thick and thin. The friend who gives good counsel. And the compassionate friend. These four are friends indeed. The wise understand this. And attend on them carefully. Like a mother her own child. The wise endowed with virtue. Shine forth like a burning fire. Gathering wealth as bees do honey. And heaping it up like an ant hill. Once wealth is accumulated, family and household life may follow. By dividing wealth into four parts, true friendships are bound. One part should be enjoyed. 2 parts invested in business. And the fourth set aside against future misfortunes. And how, young man, does the noble disciple protect the 6 directions? These 6 directions should be known: mother and father as the east, teachers as the south, spouse and family as the west, friends and colleagues as the north, workers and servants as the lower direction, and ascetics and Brahmins as the upper direction. In 5 ways should a mother and father as the eastern direction be respected by a child. I will support them who supported me. I will do my duty to them. I will maintain the family lineage and tradition. I will be worthy of my inheritance, and I will make donations on behalf of dead ancestors. And, the mother and father so respected reciprocate with compassion in 5 ways, by restraining you from wrongdoing, guiding you towards good actions, training you in a profession, supporting the choice of a suitable spouse, and in due time, handing over the inheritance. In this way, the eastern direction is protected and made peaceful and secure. In 5 ways should teachers as the southern direction be respected by a student, by rising for them, regularly attending lessons, eagerly desiring to learn, duly serving them, and receiving instruction. And, teachers so respected reciprocate with compassion in 5 ways, by training in self-discipline, ensuring the teachings are well grasped, instructing in every branch of knowledge, introducing their friends and colleagues, and providing safeguards in every direction. In this way, the southern direction is protected and made peaceful and secure. In 5 ways should a wife as the western direction be respected by a husband, by honoring, not disrespecting, being faithful, sharing authority, and by giving gifts. And, the wife so respected reciprocates with compassion in 5 ways, by being well organized, being kindly disposed to the in-laws and household workers, being faithful, looking after the household goods, and being skillful and diligent in all duties. In this way, the western direction is protected and made peaceful and secure. In 5 ways should friends and colleagues as the northern direction be respected, by generosity, kind words, acting for their welfare, impartiality and honesty. And, friends and colleagues so respected reciprocate with compassion in 5 ways, by protecting you when you are vulnerable, and likewise your wealth, being a refuge when you are afraid, not abandoning you in misfortunes, and honoring all your descendants. In this way, the northern direction is protected and made peaceful and secure. In 5 ways should workers and servants as the lower direction be respected by an employer, by allocating work according to aptitude, providing wages and food, looking after the sick, sharing special treats, and giving reasonable time off work. And, workers and servants so respected reciprocate with compassion in 5 ways, being willing to start early and finish late when necessary, taking only what is given, doing work well, and promoting a good reputation. In this way, the lower direction is protected and made peaceful and secure. In 5 ways should ascetics and Brahmins as the upper direction be respected, by kindly actions, speech and thoughts, having an open door, and providing material needs. And, ascetics and Brahmins so respected reciprocate with compassion in 6 ways, by restraining you from wrongdoing, guiding you to good actions, thinking compassionately, telling you what you ought to know, clarifying what you already know, and showing you the path to heaven. In this way, the upper direction is protected and made peaceful and secure. That is what the Buddha said. Summing up in verse, the sublime teacher said: Mother and father as the east, teachers as the south, spouse and family as the west, friends and colleagues as the north, servants and workers below, Brahmins and ascetics above. These directions a person should honor, in order to be truly good, wise and virtuous, gentle and eloquent, humble and accommodating. Such a person attains glory. Energetic, not lazy, not shaken in misfortune, flawless in conduct, and intelligent. Such a person attains glory. A compassionate maker of friends. Approachable, free from stinginess. A leader, a teacher, and diplomat. Such a person attains glory. Generosity and kind words. Conduct for others' welfare. Impartiality in all things. These are suitable everywhere. These kind dispositions hold the world together, like the linchpin of a moving chariot. And should these kind dispositions not exist, then the mother would not receive respect or honor from her child. Neither would a father. Upon these things the wise reflect. They obtain greatness, and are sources of praise. When all was said, the young householder, Sigleka, exclaimed to the Buddha, "Wonderful, dear sir! Wonderful! It is as though you have set upright what was overturned, or uncovered what was concealed, or shown the path to one gone astray, or brought an oil lamp into the darkness such that those with eyes could see. So too has the Buddha made clear the Dhamma by various ways. I go for refuge to the Buddha and to the Dhamma and to the monastic community. May the Exalted One accept me as a lay follower gone for refuge from henceforth for as long as I live."